Hello, welcome, welcome. Um, I don't know if any of you are new to our gathering, but one of the things I wanted to just remind all of us is that we have this incredible resource that's free, that we can develop, that we have how we direct our attention. And I think we forget, we get involved in all of our day-to-day activities and we forget that we need food, we need water, we need warmth, we need shelter. But we forget that attention is absolutely as basic a need as food and water. So I just want to appreciate you for giving yourself a little boost in your attention nutrient. And I was realizing when I get up in the morning, everybody in the family has their own version of cuddles, and, particularly our felines, when they get into the day, what lets them know that life really works is that they have their morning cuddles. And when they have their cuddles, they can kind of expand out into their fullness and then go through the dance of their day. And for me, giving and receiving attention is an ongoing way of giving cuddles. It's a way of letting ourselves and letting others know that we're valuable, that we're worthy of someone else's attention. And I know when I am out and about in the world, I have certain people, like I have a person at the grocery store whom I really like. She's one of the baggers and she's an older woman. She's probably, around my age. And I have a whole story about why she's bagging, but she's just this lovely presence. And so every time I go in there, I give her my attention in some way that allows us to have that connection. And this last time when I went in, she initiated the contact with me. And so that was very exciting of having, we're weaving those moments. We think, oh, I don't have time for making connections. I have things to do. But when you're practicing loop of awareness, that can become an ongoing source of not just connection, but deep nourishment. And so that's part of what our gatherings are about, is giving us the opportunity to fill our reservoirs and to open up to the nutrient that's just all around us. So we can get that through loop of awareness and also through love scoops. And so the image that I had for love scoops this morning is one of those big blankets, like a comforter that you can just wrap around yourself and feel that you can cuddle yourself with your own attention. And so what I want to invite you to do as we're continuing this morning is to let the attention around you be your cuddle blanket. And I want you to just bring it in and wrap it around you and bring it in anywhere that you want to just let yourself be recognized as just being here, and that your being here itself has value. And I'm noticing that I want to give a little bit more attention to cuddling it around my back. So I'm going to bring it in and I'm going to bring it around, but I'm going to focus on spreading out into it in my back and feeling it in my back. And then also when I meditate in the morning, I have a blanket. There's a blanket over there on the chair, and I make sure that I wrap it around my feet so that my feet feel cuddled. So I also want to invite you to let your love blanket include your feet, be around your feet or around your legs, and just notice if there's any place in you that wants a cuddle right now. And even grown-ups need cuddles. And your attention is a wonderful way to give yourself cuddles. And that big, I have summer weight comforters and I have winter weight comforters, although those of you who live in Canada may go, winter weight. Well, you don't know winter weight. So wherever you are, there's a gradation of, like, do you want close in cuddling, or do you want maybe just a lot of room to move around, but you can feel surrounded with love? So let yourself notice if there's any other place in you that's wanting cuddles, and give that to yourself with your love scoops and wrapping that big blanket around you, tucking it in. And then just give yourself a moment to enjoy giving yourself that kind of attention. So notice your body sensations and notice your breath, and notice if anything is shifted there. What's shifted for me is a kind of widening, horizontality, a kind of spreading out into the space that love gives us, because fear makes us contract and get more two-dimensional. And a lot in our culture wants us to be very two-dimensional. But love scoops make us 3 and 4 and 5-dimensional. And so just notice what has expanded or shifted in you from giving yourself love cuddles. And during the week, I invite you, like if you're feeling in a, there's so much going on, there have been, friends of mine there, people are dying and having accidents, and, it's this very kind of rough time right now. And so cuddling and having love scoops as a regular nutrient, I think, can really allow us to be here and to improvise with what's actually going on rather than retreating. And the other image I was getting for loop of awareness. So we do love scoops and loop of awareness. And loop of awareness has so many benefits. And today it was occurring to me that a benefit that I've noticed is that my attention has a much broader range than it used to. So it gives you the opportunity to choose how you're using your attention, but also to have, what was coming to me today is scan and land. So scan, want to invite you to use not just your eyes, because we think of attention as being just our eyeballs. But now that you've opened up this space of love and cuddling, to let your scan come from that place. So as you're scanning, you can do that by sensing into, by listening, also your visual sense, but you can let your vision scan and then let it land somewhere. So I'm letting it land out here on my assistant, who's just come with a whole bunch of goodies to deliver and work on the yard out there. And then let yourself bring your attention, that is your awareness, back to you and scan. Let yourself scan throughout your body. So this lets you know that scanning is not necessarily visual. So you can sense into your body. You're scanning, your internal scanning. Just notice, how is that most pleasurable for you? Is it noticing body sensations, noticing your breath, noticing what you can hear, because you can also hear inside, noticing vibrations. So letting yourself scan inside and then land. Let yourself land somewhere. And let your body tell you where it would like you to land. And mine is landing in my left hip. And I'm just letting my awareness kind of settle in there, landing. And you can do like a moon landing. You can do a pounce, like your favorite animal pounces on you when they want to play. You can do a soft landing, like a pebble landing in a pond. So the scanning and landing has so many different possibilities. Now I'd love to have you scan out And what I notice, one of the benefits of doing this is that you expand your peripheral vision. You actually expand your ability to notice what is going on out there in the world, which I think is incredibly valuable right now, because most of the external attention that we're trained for now is very direct. It's very two-dimensional. It goes into your devices, it goes into looking at person on Zoom. So I find scanning incredibly relaxing, actually, for my eyes. It allows my eyes to soften and to notice without when I'm focusing, there's a kind of a narrowing that cuts out the periphery. So when you're scanning this time, I'd like you to notice how wide can you still see your hands. So I can see both of my hands now out to 180 degrees and a little bit beyond. And the value of that is not just being able to notice and locate, because it gives you more safety, but it also, there was a wonderful thing that Carl Jung said, that the hunch comes from the periphery. And I've always, I heard that many, many years ago, and I wondered into that, like, what does he mean by that? And what I get is that the hunch just kind of comes in, just flows in from the periphery. It's almost not there, but then it's there. And it allows us to keep creating and to keep opening up to what's going on in our worlds without efforting. And so I love the scan and then land. It's also allowed me to find things, like I'll drop something, like I'll drop a vitamin in the kitchen. And instead of looking for it, I do this scanning. And my vision picks up the tiniest little movement, and yours does too. But if you're focusing, you can't pick that up. But if you're just scanning, oh, there it is. I found a little earring clip just by doing this. And so it has practical value as well as relational value. So scanning and landing out there, and then again coming back inside you and scanning, and maybe find a new way of scanning. So I'm scanning with my breath this time, and letting my breath let me know just under sort of my attention is going to my my left scapula, just sort of behind my armpit on the left-hand side. And so I'm just going to land there now and give some of my loving attention, bring some of my cuddle attention and my love scooping attention to that part of me. So we're putting together scanning and landing and cuddling, which to me sounds like a great combination to play with during the week, and opening up our ability to notice and to let all of the creativity that's always present, that we can claim it by scanning and landing. We claim choosing new ways of using our attention, so that we're opening the possibility of receiving this nutrient in lots of new ways. So take just a moment to let your body tell you how do you want to move or sound right now. Just noticing from all of that, playing with attention, just let your body just have a, mine's kind of doing a little, yeah. So letting your body kind of celebrate having this nutrient. And I have my chair in here in the office today. You may have noticed over the last several weeks, because Gay has now started to be able to do some sessions again. And So the chair is in here. And so I get a whole new way of kind of vroom, vroom, moving around. That's a little bit different than the swapper. So let me now just turn on to our Presence Connect play and see what we've got for today. Presence says, befriend feelings and be with. And so befriending feelings would be a great thing for your cuddle blanket. So if there are any feelings, one of my friends and colleagues, her husband died last week, and I was just feeling so sad, and but also that sense of wanting to give her attention. I've been sending her a loop of awareness, but I'm just going to kind of cuddle her right here, and also my feelings of sadness, that cuddle blanket. So your love scoops are great for befriending feelings, but also just bringing your cuddle blanket into any, you might be feeling angry, and so you can let the blanket be around your shoulders, or you might have been feeling a lot of fear, and so you can cuddle, like I think of those, people will tie their sweatshirts around their middle and walk around with them. So just imagine if you had your cuddle blanket tied around your middle and you just carried it around with you. So you had it anytime. You could be like, who is it was carrying their blanket around with them all the time in one of those cartoons? Linus? Yeah, thank you. Right, you can tell, I'm giving you my cultural references from way back. So let me see what we have here for connecting. Open posture. So we forget, I think humans forget how valuable opening your posture is, because what's going on right now, sort of in the collective, is so freaky and scary that, you want to just, so that protection is a natural response to when there's a lot of threat. So opening your posture allows you to receive more of the nutrient of love scoops and of attention and of giving and receiving attention with others. And so just notice if there's anything, it might be subtle, if there's anything that is not open, that you can just invite to have a little peekaboo, have a little bit of opening, and then give that place in you some loving attention. And that's something that whenever I'm, feeling stuck, or I'm at an impasse, or I want to open up to some new creative project, I make sure that I'm opening my posture. And there may be places in you where you are more intuitive, where you get more information. So I make sure that I open my belly, because I want to let any fear, any anticipation turn itself into creative juice. So open posture is a great way to connect, just not just out there, but in here with you. And then play, my favorite way of playing, which is here, exaggerate persona or role. So I like to exaggerate all kinds of things, but has there been a persona or a role that's been a little heavy for you in the last week or so? Like maybe one that you sort of had to take on, or was in response to something going on that you couldn't quite get through to handle from essence. So just go ahead and go on into that persona. So for me, it's been a little bit of, busy beaver, so I've been, doing all of this. And when you exaggerate, so go ahead and exaggerate whatever role you've been in. And when I exaggerate, not only do I start having fun, but I notice, okay, that's why I started having a little bit of pain in my neck, because that came from my busy beaver. And so I can go, okay, well, busy beaver, let's give a little neck rub to the results of your busyness. And so it gives me another choice, a new way to play, rather than going up into my head and trying to figure it out. All right. Well, that was really fun. Thank you so much for being here. And I invite you to use your scanning and landing and love blankets throughout the week, and also to share with anybody. this is a great place to invite people into the community. So if you have people that you care about who are, you'd like to give them a little extra attention, invite them to come here and to give and receive, because that's really kind of the basic thing here. What's it all about? As Monty Python would say, what's it all about? Well, I think it's all about giving and receiving as much love as we can every day. So thank you for doing that with me today. So appreciate it. Appreciate you. All right. And I'm leaving, and you can stay and play, and until next time.
Thank you.
Bye now.